Hey everyone, so I have a little challenge for you. Try to think about 5 things that are free. Take your time. It might be not so easy. Did you get 5? You get 1 or 2? For most people, this would be very difficult. And the truth is, 90% of things cost money. So if you want to take care of that 90% of your life, you better care about personal finance. According to Fidelity, 60% of people live paycheck to paycheck. And also 33% have more debt than savings, which is kind of scary. If you're in one of these categories, keep listening. Let me tell you my journey with money. For the majority of my life, I was clueless. I had no idea. I got my paycheck and I would just spending of whatever came my way. And on the other hand, my parents, my family, even some friends would tell me, oh, you have to save money. So I would do my best to try to save, but I couldn't save much. And then in the end, I just ended up feeling guilty because I wasn't able to save. This is how I spent most of my life until like 10 years that I found personal finance and I became obsessed with it. My journey started with a couple books that a friend recommended to me. The Simple Path to Wealth by J. Collins and Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. So these are two popular books. You might have heard of them, but you might not. And we might have some controversial people in those books, but they definitely changed my life. So these books taught me about saving, investing, budgeting, and personal finance in general, as well as some really important mental aspects like not keeping up with the Jonases and living on less than you make. This was a major shift for me. I realized that I had the power to control what I was doing with my money, something that I never understood before. As I said, I was just going with the flow, chilling, adapting, pulling money from here, putting it there, and never having any proper system. And after reading these two books, I realized something had to change. First of all, after I realized I had control of my money, my first step was to say, okay, I'm going to invest something. And I defined a fixed amount that I could invest, not affecting my finances overall or my family's. And I just start putting that money into a Roth IRA. I decided to open one with Fidelity, which I think they're great. But even after a few months, I started to do that. I saw my bank account or my investing account increasing by a minimal amount, and I had no clue where my money was going. So I knew I was investing a little bit, but besides that, I wasn't sure what was I spending on and what am I doing with everything else. Then I realized that I was just doing things wrong. I basically realized I had no system. So that's where I decided to start tracking my expenses. At first, I tried briefly to do it manually. It was a complete disaster, and somebody recommended Mint. So I downloaded Mint and I started going with that. It was super helpful. So now I knew where I was spending and where I was overspending, which was major. And this led me to talk to my wife. We were overspending in certain areas way more than I ever thought, especially dining out and some impulse buying. So once we understood this, we decided to cut on those a little bit. And we started to improve little by little. But then we ran into some problems. One of us being like a free spirit that just wants to spend more money and thinking that life is short and you should just get everything you want because you don't know if you're gonna leave tomorrow. Which in some ways cool, it's creative, it's fun, but in other words, you're just throwing away your money. So, and on the other side, another person with a scarcity mindset is trying to save as much as possible and kind of maximize the money we had. So as you can imagine, it was a little bit of a collision between the two, and that slowly improved. It took us years and a lot of trying to talk, but finally we're in a much better place now. So yeah, everything started just with a couple books. Even then, when I read them, my net worth was pretty much insignificant. I had maybe like $5,000 in a checking account. At the time, I was working as a contractor, so I had no 401k and we were renting. So I had basically close to zero net worth. Now, after 10 years, I've been able to multiply my net worth 20 times, which has been amazing and definitely eye-opening. My mindset have shifted from a scarcity mindset to a possibilities mindset. Trying to see the possibilities out there. What can we do with our money? How can we enjoy it? How can we make more? So I'm starting to see a really good change that I hope more people can experience. And I also forgot to mention, I changed my job I got a pay increase and I started asking for raises. Before, I just thought my manager would notice the good job that I was doing and he would offer me a raise. But sadly, maybe later than I would have liked, I realized that that was not the case. So I started asking for them, and that has really helped because I've got at least a couple raises that I would never have gotten if I didn't ask for them. During my journey, I've found some tips and tricks that have helped me, but overall, this has been an eye-opening experience that I really encourage you to go through. Right now, I became so obsessed that I'm trying to do some YouTube content. I even considered doing money coaching. I have been able to talk to a couple of friends about money in a more formal way, not charging, but at least just letting them know what I know and getting some feedback. And it's been really fun for me. I really enjoyed it. If you're interested, let me know in the comments and we can always chat. But overall, I just want to let you know that personal finances are an incredibly important topic in our lives. Most of us knows that already, but we are just kind of avoiding the fact that we know we should be better with our money. If you only take one thing from this video is to start tracking where your spending is going. And then from there, define what you really get value from and what brings you joy and what doesn't. And increase what you like and decrease what you don't need. That will make a huge difference. Track it every month and go from there.